The key that these guys have taught, and I've heard them teach it around the people. We had this happen to us actually, the meet we did Thursday. We had a lady come who'd been invited by Derek and Thea. We got to learn from the whole thing. They asked her to come see something. Thea, don't be looking like that. Look at it. What people gonna put my coach gonna put me out there like that? All right, it wasn't Thea then. It was it was somebody else. It wasn't Thea. Here's what happened. The lady was invited to the meeting and had not been exposed to the information yet. So it made well she was just special anyway. but the point I'm getting at is this. What they're going to teach you guys is a way that will never be an issue when we're talking to people. So what your self-replicating website does for you is it gives you a chance to expose people to the information. Then the power behind your success is the three-way call. You get that person on a third-party call. If you're Dr. Ray's over there, get them on there with Ray. Mark Walters is ready now. Get them on there with Mark. But that's how Mark got started. You sponsored how many masters already, Mark? 7. He sponsored 7 masters. Mark's never been in network marketing before. But the first few ones he did, he called me on the phone and said, Coach, can you do a 3-way? Here's reality. Expose them to the information and then let someone else validate the reason that they should come and see more. They're going to dismiss you because you're just a friend. You're trying to get me in something. And that's what they're going to do. That's why they say, I'm going to try to get there. Because you know you'll excuse them if they don't show up. It's very hard to tell somebody else they don't know that you're going to be there and they not show up. It's just a power of perception. That's what it is. But it gives us a chance now to validate that. We did Adrian and Kia, good examples. They introduced us to a guy named Kevin Waters, who's a basketball coach here for a minor league basketball team. We went and met him over Starbucks. We sat down with him, talked to him a little bit, and told him we were having a presentation at night. Now, we had talked to him on the phone a couple times, but it was the validation of that third-party meeting that got him to come to the meeting late, had to wait on his wife to get home because they work in one car. He drove over and got the business. And it was the power behind other folks. Yeah, people don't want to make decisions by themselves. And they don't deem you an authority in that area. They really don't trust you. It's not they don't trust you as a person, they don't trust you in this certain area. So get them to somebody who they have no choice but to trust if they don't know you. That's why you have to be who you are. So literally, if you really want to do this, get on the phone. Debbie calls me with third-party calls. Shelly does the same thing. And if you'll begin to teach this from the beginning, all of your folks know. Now, what is that going to take? It's going to take you being respectful of your upline time and your teammates' time. But you should be on the third-party call, not for me doing it, but for you listening enough so that the next 2 or 3 calls, you can do it yourself. And then the folks on your team are calling you. Because all you're doing is justifying and validating everything they've already told that person is coming from somebody else that they don't know. And now it gives them an opportunity to see this. I want to go through a few things here that I think everybody does know. Tom Maurer, 25 years in the industry. Tom's been debt-free since 1974. He won't do anything with harmful ingredients. He and his Tom Jr. are icons in this industry. They believe in everything that they're doing. This company is in a dynasty trust offshore. That means this company can never be sold or taken public. Now, how many people tell y'all they need security? Ain't much more security than that. $1 billion company that can never be taken public. Now, it's a manufacturing plant. For those of y'all that haven't had the fortunate place to go there right there, if y'all could really see what them bottles were, y'all would know exactly what they bottle. But I ain't going to tell y'all that. But it's got pomegranate, bilberry, passion fruit, wolfberry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come on. Cranberry, apricot, prune, apple, ammonium, pear. Also roll a banana and dark and white pigment grapes. That's what was on that conveyor belt right there.
I got that outside.
Yeah, that's out there. But he invested $1 million of his own money. Tom literally built New Wave. Tom forced the sale of New Wave as a privately owned company because of his wife's infidelity. Tom literally sold the company. The company was to be sold for $1.6 billion. Tom said nope, because they wanted him to sign a 5-year non-compete. So I'm not going to sign it. Tom is the chemist. He's the senior chemist. He said, I'm not taking 5 years off from what I need to do. So he sold it for $770 million. He left $270 million on the table. That's the type of guy's integrity we're dealing with. And I told him, you got deep integrity, Tom. I'm not sure I can leave $270 million on the table just to wait for 5 years to do something. 15 years, I might have. But here's what the comment was. He said, Grayson, $270 million was not going to change my lifestyle one bit. That's some deep stuff there. Someone have said that million won't even change a little bit. Just lose them. He said it wouldn't change a bit. Tom also did 18 months in prison. Tom did 18 months in prison because he's convicted about his integrity as well. Tom did 18 months in prison because he started and sowed some seed money down into Australia. Reparations to be paid back were supposed to start immediately. It didn't happen. So 8 to 10 years down the road, they began to pay back that initial $2 million investment. The United States is the only government that taxes you on money coming into the country. Okay? So Deloitte & Touche was his accounting firm down in Australia. Deloitte & Touche only have to keep records for 4 years. So 12 years later, they asked Tom, they said you need to pay tax on money. Now he already paid it the first time, going up. Now they're going to tax it coming back in. He said, no. So they said, well, show us that it was a loan. You couldn't. So they said, here's your deal. You can cop a plea, literally pay it all over again, or you can go to prison. He said, I'll be in prison. He did 18 months. He came back out and sued the IRS. He sued the IRS for money he already paid. They sent him a $60,000 bill because he filed outside the statute of limitations for a refund. They wrote him a check for $674,000. Caleb, how long did he keep that check on the wall? How long did he keep that check up on the wall before he cashed it?
It was 2 years.
He kept it up there. He just kept it on the wall for 2-3 years. The $60,000 they fined him, they gave him a tax credit back for it. But we got a guy who was not, now he could have written another $674,000 check and copped a plea. But if he cops a plea, what does it say to most people? Guilty. He said, I'm not guilty, so y'all do what you want to do. This is the type of owner we got. So when you folks Google Tom, now you know the story. You can deal with it. See, for me, the reality of it is when the first person called me, I Googled them. I said, you know what? I shouldn't have told you about this business. See, my relationship with you should have superseded anything you see on Google. But if you would rather not hear from somebody you know and go look at Google, then you weren't the right guy. You know what? That's my bad. I should have never told you about it. And that's the way you need to deal with it. I told Tom face to face. I said, you don't have to defend yourself. We will. You put too much out here for us. You don't understand to defend yourself. And he's literally trying to get that removed. And we've done some things. If you look at it now, it's further back and further back and further back because we've done some back end stuff. But he didn't even want to deal with it. He said, I'm not going to do nothing. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not writing another check for it. I just want you to know that's the type of owner that you have with this company. He's not going to compromise on anything that he believes in. We're already in over 21 countries, and it's global seamless. Everything goes through Sweden and is disseminated into the currency of that company. So you have the opportunity globally, Puerto Rico, everywhere else, to begin to build business. And all that goes to Sweden and it gets disseminated. So if it's in euros, it gets paid in euros. If it's in dinero, it gets paid whatever it is. It gets paid there.